chat. There we go. I can hear you. Amazing. You can see me. Beautiful. And then everybody on YouTube, our general admission students, go ahead and type in the chat. You can see me and you can hear me. And go ahead and drop a day 2 in the chat. Day 2 in the chat if you can hear me, if you are back for day 2. Alrighty, everybody on YouTube, we did this with the VIPs. I'm going to ask you to type a number 1 if you were here yesterday. And if you're here for the first time today, I want you to drop a number 2 in the chat. If you're here for the first time, that's number 2. If you were here yesterday, do number 1. Day 2, day 1. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, couple 2s, a lot of 2s actually, more 2s than I thought. Okay, well, welcome for the first time. If you're here for the first time, if you were here yesterday, welcome. Yesterday was wild. I went an hour over my time, which I'm so terribly sorry to everybody, but honestly, it was just too good of a session to cut off. I missed a meeting that I was supposed to be on, et cetera, but I loved it. I thought it was great. So, people are saying the volume is a little bit low. Do you mind turning it up just on there? Just turn the volume slider up a little bit. All right, we'll adjust that volume for you. Okay, so digital launch number 2. I want to jump straight in here because I've actually had to remove some of my slides so I don't go over time again. So we have less slides this time, but we will still fly through things. So they're still saying volume is a bit low on YouTube. So can you turn that up? Thank you. Okay. In a few minutes, you are going to discover how to find profitable hidden industries with virtually no competition. You're going to identify that industry's most critical pain point, and then you're going to package that solution into a profitable digital product, all using AI. Now, let me go back to my slides there. There we go. This method allows you to create a digital product without having previous expertise or authority, without having to develop a sellable skill yourself, without having to spend tens of thousands of dollars paying for somebody else's knowledge, like I mentioned yesterday, and without having to show your face if you don't want to. Now, if you stay until the end, you are going to get my personal method for finding and creating your first winning digital product. Now, just a quick recap of what we covered yesterday. We discovered, number 1, the 4 big waves of the digital world. We also heard the $684.9 million per day digital product industry that is shockingly untapped. Now, we also learned how combining AI with digital products will create the 5th and biggest wave yet. Next, we learned how AI is disrupting the digital product landscape with non-expert digital products that are currently making from $8,000 to $171,000 a month. Now, most importantly, we learned the 3 Ds of all successful digital products and what they have in common, which is develop, which is distribute, and deliver. Now, yesterday, I've given you a 30,000-foot overview of these 3 steps. But tonight, we're going to dive deep into 1 step, and that step is develop. Now, by the end of this class, you will know exactly what it takes to develop a digital product with potential to make upwards of $100,000 in sales. If you take some of these frameworks that my team has followed, we have done well over 7 figures on most of our digital products that we have launched. Now, yesterday, gave you a 30,000-foot overview of these 3 steps, whereas today, we're going to go deeper. Our goal here together is one thing only, and that is to have your first digital product structure ready by the end of this event. It does not matter if you are a complete beginner. It does not matter if you have tried and failed with online business before. It does not matter if you have a small budget, and it does not matter even if you have less than 1 hour a day to invest in your business. The only reason that I can make such a bold claim like this is because I have seen the results of it. Now, over 10,000 verified people make money from digital products because I can see the back end of many of those individuals' payment processing. So I know for a fact that they are making money all through WAP, seeing as we are partners of WAP. Now, here's an example here, somebody like Kevin who made over $30,000 from his digital product. All that these successful people did was 4 things very, very well when it comes to developing your products. Number 1, identify. Number 2, synthesize. Number 3 is package. And number 4 is productize. Those are the exact steps that I will show you today. And the truth is, there's never been anything like this. Creating a digital product using AI is the ultimate one-person business to start in 2025. So today, I'm going to show you a proven system to identify winning industries with little to no competition and very high margins using what I call unique value zones. Next, I'm going to talk to you about how to automate 95% of the process with easy-to-use AI. And that's even if you know nothing about tech. And then next, I will show you how to turn these simple digital products, which is a collection of about 5 to 20 videos that we know nothing about, into reliable money printing machines. Then you're going to learn the 4-step process to build your first non-expert digital product from scratch. And that is even if you do not want to show your face. The 3 formats of non-expert digital products that get you set up for sales. That's going to be the final thing that we talk about today. The only thing that you need to keep in mind here is that this works in dozens of niches and thousands of different topics. All that you need to do is find one of those. That is one single topic to monetize. Just like Andrew here, who figured out that the topic for his digital product was sober living homes. And this is what's shocking. Just last year, he made over $15,000 in one day from this topic, and over $123,000 in total earnings. And that's all from a single topic. And that is why I always say, and I've said it multiple times during this event, you are only one digital product away from being one of these success stories yourself. Now, I know that when I say that, many of you probably go, oh, but how do I even find a topic to create a digital product on? I don't even know anything about these topics, etc. And I don't want you to worry, because we're going to cover all of that today. So if I reveal to you the strategy that I have developed to finding winning digital products, will you commit to taking action and using it to find your first profitable digital product today? Drop your answers in the chat. Yes, 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 yes. You guys were so fast with it. Amazing. I saw a maybe, which is very honest, but I didn't see any no's. That's a good thing. I love it. That's awesome. Okay. With all that I show you today, you too are going to go from I don't have anything to sell all the way to give me a computer and I will launch. Now, just to avoid any confusion for anybody, we need to clarify and we need to establish what AI truly is and how you're actually going to use it to have a massive unfair advantage for winning with your digital product. If you are familiar with any of these technologies, you already use AI on a daily basis. Alexa, Gmail, even Google Maps, Waze, some of you have heard of Waze. They all, even autocorrect, autofill on your iPhone keyboard. Those are all AI-powered apps, believe it or not. So again, it's not something that is extremely complex as most people think AI is. And you probably already trust it with dozens of tasks on a daily basis without you even realizing it. So if you already use it to correct your spelling mistakes, if you use it to filter your spam, give yourself directions when you get into the car, etc., why not use it for something that actually makes you money? What most people don't realize is that just as simply as AI can do all of these tasks, it can also perform tasks that put money in your pocket. So what AI can do already is it can create insane photorealistic images that you can't tell from reality. All of the pictures that you see right here on the screen, they are not actual pictures. Every single one of them was created with AI. Think about how insane that is. A little scary, I know. All of the videos that you see right here, they are not real videos. They have been created by artificial intelligence. And this is incredibly useful if you are somebody who does not want to show your face when you are creating a digital product. You can now use artificial intelligence when you are recording all of the videos for your digital product. And I'll talk more about this. Don't you worry. There are those videos. Now, I have even seen guys who have created some of the most successful digital products in history using it to replace themselves. It is shockingly easy for the first time to actually, to the point where anybody can actually do it. I'm losing my English here. You can also use it to research and identify profitable topics that you would never be able to find yourself. And this is how me and my team, this is how we find golden mines that we can profit truckloads of money from, because we find these different topics. We also are able to find niches that are completely untapped, that are waiting to be explored, that are full of potential buyers. Now, it also can help you find proven solutions based on scientific publications, based on academic studies, based on books, podcasts, and paid courses, etc., which we use to our advantage to actually create products even on topics that we know nothing about. Now remember, AI has all of the information available on the internet stored in its artificial brain. Wild statement, I know. So it knows exactly how to virtually solve any problems. There are limits, but almost any problems. If it can find and package those solutions 200 times faster than any human ever could, why is it not something that you should be using? So this is why you can now create a digital product in less than a week, when previously it used to take upwards of 3 to 6 months to create a digital product. Now, some people ask, how good and how smart is AI actually? The answer that I have for that is insanely good. Now, there are researchers pointing out that AI already outperforms PhD experts in their own fields. And AI has successfully passed the Turing test for the first time in history. If you don't know what that is, in 1950, Alan Turing proposed a test to judge the intelligence of a machine. And that's one of the greatest scientists in history, by the way. The way that this test works is basically you have a machine texting a human interrogator who at the same time would be texting another human. Now, Turing called this the imitation game. There's even a movie about it, believe it or not. I'm not recommending it, I'm just saying there's a movie about it, okay? And the way that it worked is if the interrogator could correctly determine which one was the computer and which one was the human, it would suggest that the machine could think like a human. Crazy story, just reading an article. Okay, everyone remain calm. Now, around a few months ago, AI just passed this test. So it is now officially impossible to distinguish between AI and a human. Some of you are like, hold up, I joined the live for digital products, not about some crazy take over the world. What's that movie? Terminator? Yeah. Okay. Now, you even have the CEO of Google saying that AI is a more profound discovery than fire and electricity. And that is how big the fifth wave actually is. Now, AI is not simply going to put money into your pocket on its own. You have to actually apply it to a business model. And this way, you have a vehicle through which that you can actually take advantage of AI to make money. Now, there is no better vehicle to apply it to than digital products, at least in my opinion. Now, as all of you saw in our first live session, every single new big wave that hits this market was created by applying a new element, which in this case is artificial intelligence. So, and in this case, it's applying it to digital products, artificial to digital products. So it only makes sense to actually combine artificial intelligence with digital products. Now, me and my team, I will talk more about this later, but me and my team have actually been working with a developer team in Brazil on an AI digital product development software. And we've been working on this over the last 12 months. Now, we did this so that we can cut the time to build our own digital products from months all the way down to hours. And I love this team. They're such an incredible team of developers. Now, I'm going to show more about this in just a second, but let's get into the strategy. I like to call this process AI synthesization. Synthesization. There we go. Been talking a lot in the VIP session. Okay. I personally believe that this is the most valuable skill for somebody to learn in not 2025, in 2026. And so this is how we turn simple 90 minutes of screen recordings into digital products with the potential to generate hundreds of thousands of dollars. And this method works on the idea that instead of having to learn to do something yourself to then package it as a digital product, you just have to learn how to actually guide the AI to do it for you. You use it to extract, you use it to synthesize and productize information. Now, the fact is, information has become incredibly abundant. Even if you don't have any knowledge yourself, you can actually take advantage of AI, which is the world's most powerful brain. And then with that, you can create your first digital product within a matter of hours. And if you already have expertise in a topic, it's going to be even easier for you to use AI in the process of actually developing that digital product. Now, Most importantly, the real beauty of this AI is the synthesization of that process. And that's if you do this right. So you can create a product once and you can sell it thousands of times. I mentioned this yesterday to all of you. Now, I know for a lot of you, your probably most obvious next question is that, is it actually possible to create something and sell it 1,000 times? Can you actually create something once and sell it 1,000 times? Not only is it possible, but I have actually sold the same digital product over 1,000 times in a single week. And we have done that multiple times. And I will detail that strategy more actually on day 4, which is, I believe, Thursday. Now, I've done this with products ranging all the way from $29 all the way up to $1,500. And we've actually not quite hit the 1,000 mark, but we've gotten close to the 1,000 mark with products that are $3,000 and $7,000 also. And this is why we call this the ultimate one-person business. You do not need to hire a ton of employees or run a crazy overstuffed operation. With this model, if you can make $1,000, you can actually go on to make $100,000. Now, the work to fulfill for 1 or 10,000 customers can be virtually the same. And you can create your first product within a matter of hours through the help of artificial intelligence. Now, that product does not stop paying you. Once it is created, it will keep paying you dividends for years to come. We created products 2 years ago. They still sell today. We've created products, I believe 3, some even 4 years ago. They still sell today. All right. Let's talk about the difference between rich people and poor people. If you've ever read Rich Dad or Poor Dad, you'll know, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, it's the book, not Rich Dad or Poor Dad, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, you will know that rich people collect assets and poor people collect liabilities. How many of you have read this book by Robert Kiyosaki? Great book. I feel like every millionaire recommends that you read the book. It's like kind of one of those books that you read. Okay, a lot of you. Amazing. So you understand rich people, they collect assets and poor people collect liabilities. Now, I like to think of digital products as the ultimate asset that you can actually create. It's almost like having your own real estate portfolio. Each new digital product that you add is a new rental property to your portfolio. And each property keeps paying you dividends every single month. But the difference is that it's digital real estate. So it doesn't actually cost you anything to build a new property. Does this make sense? You can build as many properties as you want for free. Think about it. If somebody offered to give you a free rental property every single week, completely free, would you accept it? How many of you would accept that if I offered that to you on this call right now? I'm not, for the record, but yes. Each property would keep paying you monthly dividends for the rest of your life. Would you take it? Of course you would, right? But the question becomes, why don't you build digital real estate? So here's the 4-step process to build digital products from scratch with AI, even on topics that you know nothing about or have any expertise in. Number 1, identify. Number 2, synthesize. Number 3, package. And number 4 is productize. Step 1 is identify. Here in our first steps, we're going to use AI to actually identify hidden topics with lots of demand and very, very little competition. There are thousands, I genuinely mean that, thousands of hidden profitable topics out there that are just waiting to be explored. Most of them very much unexplored. Often, a lot of them have no digital products even being sold on it. And the most important thing that you need to understand here is that you don't need to know a thing about that topic. So, the first step here is the most crucial of the entire process. If you get this wrong, you will fail. Because trying to sell the wrong product will lead you to wasting months and months of work, getting eaten alive by the competition, getting frustrated with the lack of results, and then finally giving up. So there are 3 big mistakes that destroy your chances of success before you even get started with this. If you make one of these mistakes before you launch a product, you've already failed before you even start. Mistake number 1 is positioning your product on a red ocean. In other words, in an extremely competitive market with hundreds, if not thousands of other people selling the same solution to the same problem as you. This is a red ocean. And there are big sharks in these industries, and there's a lot of blood in the water, hence why you call it a red ocean. A little gruesome, bear with me. If you go into a market like that without having any authority, without having any unique method, or without having any experience, then there's no wonder that it doesn't actually work for you. Instead, you want a blue ocean. That's just like Zach here, who made $14,000 in only 24 hours on the topic of exotic car rentals. The reason why people like Zach actually manage to get these numbers in is because they have positioned their products in what I call the third layer. And this is a signature strategy to actually identify these blue ocean markets. In any market that you sell to, there are going to be 3 layers. The first layer, and by the way, it's time to take notes. If you're a note taker, time to take notes. The first layer is your industry. The second layer is your niche. So most people selling digital products right now, that is where they would be positioned. It's about the second level, which is in their niche. For example, the first layer is personal development. The second layer, the niche, is productivity. Does that make sense? Personal development is the industry. Second layer deeper is going to be the productivity, which is the niche. Or another example is first layer, the industry, is health. The second layer is the niche, is weight loss. That makes sense? Health, weight loss. Okay. The thing is, if you are positioned in the second layer like that, you are basically doomed to fail. A few years ago, you might have still gotten away with it, back when digital products were gaining a little bit of traction, but still in the shadows, if you will. Today, there's absolutely no chance, even though it's still a growing industry. Virtually every single niche has turned into a red ocean, unfortunately. Now, what most people do not realize is that you can still dig another layer deep. So instead of staying in the second layer, you can actually go down further to the third layer. And this is where the hidden gold mines are. I call this third layer your unique value zone. Think of your market as a commercial building. The first layer is like the ground floor lobby. Everybody passes through there. It's crowded, it's noisy, and you'll never actually stand out. The second layer is like getting on an elevator to a specific floor. It's less crowded than the lobby, but it's still filled with people all trying to get the same customer's attention. And this is your niche level. The third layer is like finding a secret room on your floor that nobody else knows about. In this room, you are the only one there to actually greet and speak to the specific customers who discover it. And the customers who find their way to this secret room are already convinced that they want exactly what you provide. And that is exactly what you should do with your digital product as well. You have to position your digital product in the third layer by finding your unique value zone where there is absolutely nobody else competing. For example, a digital product selling productivity, you know what would be far more effective than selling just productivity? It would be, for example, reducing your screen time as an entrepreneur or self-employed professional. Or instead, you could sell how to sleep better as an executive who's always traveling to different time zones. Or instead of weight loss, you would say it would sell so much better if you sold it like, hey, how to recover. I don't know how to go through these examples. You get the point. The examples of these are incredibly endless. Now, this leads to mistake number 2, which is not considering at least 20 different unique value zones. And this is going to tie back into the workbook that I'll give you at the end of this session. Most people, they just go for the first topic that comes to their minds. Odds are that is probably not the best idea. Believe it or not, our first ideas, they are usually our worst ideas. And I really had this realization when I did one simple 1-minute exercise. And I want you to do it yourself after this session. It's very, very simple. And in fact, we could probably do it now. You have 60 seconds, everybody in the chat, in VIPs and YouTube, you have 60 seconds. I want you to name as many means of transportation as possible. Go. And I'm going to read some of them out here. Train, car, air, bus, train, bus, car, bus, plane, bike, horse, bike, train, skateboard. There we go. And then everybody in YouTube as well. What you're going to notice is that at first, you go for the obvious ones. Here we go. See, we predicted it. You go for car, you go for bus, you go for plane, you go for helicopter. Some people in the VIPs know exactly where I'm going with this. Okay, when you get to 20 ideas, you start to actually get creative. You go for golf. You go golf cart. You go for elevator. You go for a surfboard. You go for a parachute, etc. When you get to the end, you actually start to get out. You start to think outside of the box. That's where creativity actually kicks in. You start to think about wings, legs, jetpack, walking suit, Iron Man suit, etc. And that, in that level, is where you start to find the best ideas. Somebody just said elephant in the chat. Great one. That's some real creativity. I love it. The problem is that we don't just, is that we don't go through enough ideas. Usually we just take a few different topics that are right at the top, and then we stay stuck at those first 5 to 10 ideas. And that means that your product is so incredibly shallow. Instead, you should just take one topic and dig very, very deep. Now, I am personally not a very creative person, and I do not like having to depend on my creativity to make money. And that is why the first step of that AI software that we now have is uncovering hidden profitable topics. So I will show you more about this later, but here are a few examples of topics that the AI actually came up with, all of which have very high potential and could be very profitable. First one is tackling insomnia in high-stress executives. These are ideas the AI came up with. It's a lot of demand and buying power in this topic. Very few, if any, solutions for this specific problem actually exist for this audience. Another one here is parents trying to manage their children's screen time. Real estate, navigating hidden costs for first-time buyers. I saw a VIP had this idea. Love it. Great idea. Emotional burnout in women who constantly put others first. I'll use this one as an example later for you to see how powerful this actually is. And then there are also quite a few others that appear here on the screen. All of those are unique value zones with high monetization potential. And I know what you're probably thinking right now, but are there actually people interested in those topics? And the answer is yes, a lot of them. We usually underestimate how many people there are inside of these micro niches. And even if you go to very specific topics, for example, here's one. One of the top selling digital products ever on Udemy. How many of you know what Udemy is? It's been a platform that's been around for a hot minute. One of the best selling digital products ever on Udemy is Become a Super Learner. It basically teaches people reading and memory boosting techniques. Realistically, how many people do you know who would actually be interested in that in the first place and then actually committed enough to buy a digital product on that? Probably not many. At least I don't know many. None of my crowd. Right. The fact is that over 230,000 people have purchased that digital product from anywhere between $20 and $79.99. You can do the math on how much that actually is. On the low end, we're talking about over $4.6 million from a single digital product. Realistically, that number is probably way closer to 10 million. So there are definitely enough people in those small niches for you to actually make more money than you know what to do with. Another one of the top selling digital products ever is this simple woodworking guide. It is a collection of woodworking plans that have been a top seller for over 5 years. It is making millions of dollars every single year. And that is one of those products that you can actually create once and you can actually sell tens of thousands of times. So now you can see how having a software that identifies validated topics for you and ensures that you're not going to choose the wrong topic under any circumstances, it's basically halfway to creating a successful digital product. Now, here's where it gets very interesting. And this is where we're going to use the real power of AI. You now have a proven topic. You're now positioned in the third layer. You have a profitable problem to fix. So what do you do now? You now have to come up with a solution for this problem. Now, what must be true here is quality. You need a solution that actually works. Now, creating a quality digital product is not always easy. It requires lots of research. It requires detailed course outlines. It requires you to be very educated on the topic and generally has a very steep learning curve. Now, at least that's how it used to be. Up until a few months ago, this would have taken months of work. And realistically, you probably wouldn't ever be able to actually get into a topic that you know nothing about. It would be very, very hard to do. It just would simply take too long. But now, with the right tools, this has become very much possible. So the question becomes, how do we do it? We get AI to synthesize all of the real-world data available out there, and we get it to turn it into a simple 3 to 5 step process on how to solve the problem that we identified in step 1. Think scientific studies, research papers, business reports, all websites, courses, YouTube videos, etc. AI is going to analyze all of that information and use them as references. Remember I said in the beginning, AI is trained on all of the information on the internet. It is arguably one of the smartest brains there is. Terrifying one, I know, wild statement, bear with me. Okay, we use at least 150 sources as references to guarantee the quality of the solution that AI comes up with. And this is crucial. If you want to gather those references manually, be my guest, but there is a much easier way. Now, after partnering with a software development team that I was speaking to you all about down in Brazil, we now have an AI that is specifically for this sole purpose of helping all of us create digital products to actually sell. And that product is called AROS. And like I said, I will talk more about this later. In fact, I will actually show you some of the outlines that it has actually developed. I picked one of our topics from step 1, where the first layer is the industry, which is health. Second layer, the niche, which is self-care. And then the third layer is the unique value zone. An example here of emotional burnout in women who constantly put others first. This is a topic with a lot of demand and very, very few good solutions. You're more than welcome to steal it. It has a lot of generic solutions, I should say. Now, here's the outline that AROS actually created for this digital products to fix emotional burnout women who constantly put others first. You can see it on the screen here. There we go. Now, how do I know if this even works or if it's even a good outline? Well, as you can see, since it's pulling all of this information from studies, from research papers, from YouTube videos, etc., it already has all of the raw material that it needs to create an incredible outline, one that actually works in practice to fix the problem that we have identified. Now, this allows us to create digital products even on topics that we know nothing about, and it eliminates months of hard work, research, writing, and development, etc. And instead, it actually ends up creating a digital product into a process as simple as clicking a few buttons. The question I have for you is, do you think you can click a few buttons and create a profitable digital product yourself? Liz said yes before I finished that sentence. That's funny. Now, this is a software that we have. Now, AROS is not currently available in the US. If you search for it, I already know somebody on here first heard me say it and then went to Google it. I know you can find it. It's really hard to find because it's not currently available in the US. Now, here's where it gets very interesting. And this is where we're going to use some insane power of AI. There are just 2 more things that you have to identify, and that is your product's pricing and your product's format. Product and format, those are the 2 things that make your packaging. Exactly like a physical product has packaging, which is like a box around it, you need to have packaging for digital products too. And the difference is, packaging for digital products is even more powerful because you can essentially package the exact same digital product in hundreds of different ways. So we're basically selling the same thing to hundreds of potential different audiences. When it comes to pricing, you just want to price your product anywhere from about $50 to $300. That's it. Ideally, the closer to the $300, the better. Obviously, the easier it'll be to make more money. Now, how much you can charge totally depends on the format of your digital product. We spoke a bit about pricing with the VIPs. When it comes to digital products, it is all about the format. And again, it goes back to the point of most people think that they cannot sell digital products because they lack the knowledge or the authority, so people wouldn't buy a product from them. And that's exactly why that we go for non-expert product formats. We don't need to be seen as crazy authority figures or even know a thing about the topic that we're selling in order to actually sell a digital product or for it to be valuable. Remember the map versus tour guide analogy from day 1? It is the exact same thing. A map is valuable no matter who is selling it to, you. And It is valuable no matter how much information they actually know. The map in itself is valuable because of the format. It is the format and the information that is structured on it. Now, going back to the digital product, where you have a collection of woodworking plans, it doesn't really matter who's selling those woodworking plans to you. The value is in the 16,000 plans that you get, not on who is selling it. I mentioned that to you and I told you how much money it made. I never told you who actually built it, and it was immediately valuable. That is why I say information is valuable only when it's structured in a specific format. Again, spoke about this with the VIPs. That's also why you don't need to be a specialist in any topic in order to sell products online. In fact, that woodworking example is packaged as one of my 4 favorite formats of the non-expert digital products. Now, these allow you to sell even if you have zero authority and even if nobody actually knows who you are. And then you'll understand why. You'll understand exactly why when you see them. Now, I have tested all of them. And what I noticed is that if you package your digital product with one of these formats, you are setting it up for an incredibly profitable digital product. And you're setting up for the highest chance of success. Now, the first is curation or compilation product. Remember the example that I gave you earlier in episode 1, which was the VO2 Max video. Type in the chat if you remember me mentioning this yesterday. The video was, I've read 53 studies on how to improve your VO2 max. Here are the 5 non-negotiable exercises that you must do. That would be a perfect example of a curation or compilation product. It's basically a compilation of scientific studies, courses, or other data sources out there digested into a few key takeaways. Or you could take the woodworking example, which is a collection of 16,000 woodworking plans. This is one of the most desirable formats and one of the easiest to actually put together with AI. Format number 2 is going to be frameworks. The idea of this one is very similar to the compilation product. You basically distill a proven framework or method behind efforts that have led to success in specific fields. And those are incredibly easy to create. For example, did you know that Jeff Bezos, Marcus Aurelius, and Leonardo da Vinci, they all had one specific habit to which they all attribute a large share of their success? And that habit is journaling. And most people don't know, but they all followed a specific 3-step journaling framework to organize all of their thoughts and make strategic decisions. It's called the 3-step journaling success framework. By the way, that could be your entire digital product. So again, those frameworks and strategies are very well documented in books, documented in news, documented in interviews, all of which the AI has access to. Now, format number 3 is plans. Here's an example of one of our topics from AROS, which was resolving knee pain during long runs for marathoners over 50. Here's the output. The 60-day knee comeback plan. You don't have to quit running. You just need a smarter comeback plan. For marathoners over 50 who want to run pain-free again without injection, surgery, or giving up what they love most. How crazy impressive is that? Like, it's found an incredibly profitable digital product, something that serves people very well. Now, if you know how many people are really into running, you'll know that one of the top performers of the sport top problems of the sport is knee problems, especially for people over 50. So it's an incredibly hot topic to actually cover. It's easy to sell, it has a lot of demand, and there are people desperately looking for that solution. Now you can see here on the outline that AROS actually developed for the product. It's very in-depth and it's incredibly specific. It starts with pain assessment, then it goes to mobility testing, and then correcting imbalances. Then it's a little small, a little hard to read there, but knee-friendly strength drills, and so on and so forth. You can see it's an outline that actually makes sense and it actually works in practice. Now, our last and final step is productize. All there's left for us to do is to take that outline that AROS has created for us and then turn it into a 90-minute screen recording broken down into 5 to 10 videos, or however many AROS actually suggested for you. And here you have a few options on how to do that. There's 4 to be specific. The first one is to screen record some slides with your face side by side when you talk over it, or in this case, a little bit smaller. And that is the easiest and the quickest format to actually follow. You can do that with a free tool called Loom. I mentioned this yesterday. So it doesn't matter if you don't have any fancy equipment, any crazy recording experience. To be fair, I do have a good camera, at least for this live, but you guys get what I mean. The second option for producing this is doing the exact same thing, which is screen recording slides while you talk over them, and then you just simply don't show your face. And that is also an option. The third option is you screen record the slides and then you use AI like 11 Labs or HeyGen, which are both softwares, to generate an AI voice over that video, hence the title voiceover. This means that you don't even have to speak yourself on videos. Think of all of those TikTok and Instagram videos with AI voices. How many of you know what I'm talking about? They have like that. It's like the same voice on so many different videos. You immediately, your brain just tells you now, oh, that's not a real human being. You can use those exact same voices, or even better, you can use them with ones that are different, so you can actually differentiate yourself. Deborah says some of those AI voices are horrible. Very, very true. The ones on TikTok are dreadful. If you use 11 Labs, though, you won't be able to tell it from a human. In fact, I can say this. I didn't plan on saying this, but I'm going to say this. Some of you actually got some of you called one of our phone numbers, and it was forwarded to an AI concierge. So I'm not saying everybody that you've called is an AI, but there was one that was an AI. And it was honest. Like if you asked it and said, are you AI? It'll tell you it was AI. Some of you had no idea. Let me know in the chat if you had no idea that was an AI. It was fully trained on all the information, had everything about the event. Isn't that incredible? Toby says, I knew it. Okay. Finally, the last option is to record the slides and then add an AI voiceover and also add an AI video so you can have an actual video without showing your face. It takes a little bit more work, but it's actually super easy, even though it takes a little bit more time to do. It's definitely an option that anybody here can actually do. So to sum it up, your options are record slides plus your face plus voiceover. Another option is record slides plus voiceover. That's faceless. And then another option is record slides with an AI voice, which is also faceless. And then the fourth option is to record slides plus an AI video plus an AI voiceover, which is also faceless. That's 3 out of 4 options that are completely faceless. So you can pick whichever one works best for your style and then produce your digital product. By the way, you can do the same for everything that's outward facing as well. So if you ever have to record a YouTube video, ever record a reel, etc., whatever you use to promote your digital product, you also have the option to do that without even showing your face. We have so many students right now that are growing their online channels through faceless channels, and a lot of them using AI to produce a lot of their content. Now, it's not required that you produce on social media. I already mentioned this yesterday, but I know a lot of people want to do it. And I will talk more about that in tomorrow's session. Now, I know some of you are going to go, hey, but does that actually work? And I'm very much glad you asked. Because here I have one of the most successful ads of last year, which got 32 million views for a product, and it is 100% faceless. And just so that you understand, to get 32 million views, it costs you on average about $2.3 million. So somebody spent $2.3 million on a faceless ad. And the rule with ads is very simple. If somebody is spending this much money on a single ad, it is because they are making a return. And by the way, there's no need to worry about ads right now. You do not need them at first. You can use them to scale, but you do not need them at first. The majority of our students in GDL have actually made money without running ads. I just wanted to show you what is possible with faceless content. It's so funny because people have this wrong assumption that everybody who's making money in this industry is somehow famous or has some massive social media account and so on. When in reality, the people who make the most money in this industry actually don't show their faces at all, and you would never know that they actually exist. I have friends in this digital product industry who make far more money than I do, and you would have no idea who they are. Why? Because they just prefer to do everything faceless. There are thousands of people like that making millions from digital products. So can you see how after understanding this 4-step process, the product, creating your product, or what to sell, etc., all of that should be the least of your concerns. So far in this challenge, we have covered, number 1, the 4 big ways of the digital world. Number 2, the $684.9 million per day digital product industry that's shockingly untapped. And number 3, how combining AI with digital products will create the 5th and biggest wave. We also spoke about how AI is now as smart as a PhD level individual and could even outperform them in their own fields. And then finally, we learned how we're using easy to use AI to identify and create wildly profitable digital products, even on topics that we know nothing about. We also learned, as 2 more, I thought it was the last one, how you can start from scratch by simply creating non-expert digital products, even if you don't want to show your face, by following a 4-step process. And then finally, I've shown you just 3 formats of non-expert digital products that virtually guarantee that it will be a profitable product. The best part is that you've still only seen a tiny fraction of the success that people are having with digital products and AI. There are tens of thousands, I mentioned this earlier, there are tens of thousands of people making an income from digital products using WAP. And that's how you know this stuff actually works, and it will work for the people that jump in. After all, it has worked for our entire team, and we have served over 10,000 students across multiple products and brands. It has worked for a 60-year-old to sell millions in digital products on woodworking. It has worked for this guy to build recurring income of $121,000 a month simply selling a newsletter. It's also worked for regular, everyday people to earn over $1 billion with digital products on WAP. Can you see how you are only one digital product away from completely changing your life? Now, do you understand how having the right tools to create a digital product with AI can lead you to your turning point? How many of you understood or remember the turning point that I mentioned yesterday? Yes, in the chat. VIPs are so fast. It's insane. Barely even finished my sentences. I love it. Now, how does it feel being able to create as many products as you want on demand by simply clicking a few buttons? And it gives you endless chances to actually figure it out. And also, a single digital product might be the bridge from where you are right now to exactly where you want to go. So my question that I have for you, are you getting excited over the idea of finally making an income from an online business? Wouldn't you agree, and this is a genuine question, wouldn't you agree that right now is the best time to take advantage of this new AI opportunity with digital products? So the question now is, are you ready to take full advantage of this new 5th wave of the digital market before the big wave comes in? So if you're here right now, I want to offer you a very special opportunity. And I told the VIPs I would do this, and the response I got was a lot more than I thought. It's an opportunity to take advantage of the best time ever to create a digital product with the best technology ever to make it happen. With me being your guide as we do this correctly, not over 1 or 2 years, but over a 90-day sprint. And this is so that you can prove to yourself that you can finally be successful with an online business. Are you up for that? Give me a yes in the chat. Or no, be honest. What I want to talk to you about is Digital Launch. Digital Launch is one of the world's first complete system for building a profitable digital product. And that is without needing any expertise, without technical skills, and without any previous experience. Because here's the thing. We didn't just want to give you training or just give you a course. We wanted to give you everything that you actually need to succeed. We wanted to give you the education, the software, the distribution, the support, the community, etc. We wanted to wrap all of it into one program that is literally designed to give you everything that you need. And when I show you everything that is included, you're going to understand why I can make such crazy, bold statements about it. Let me break it down for you. This is about to get insane, so I want you to buckle up, prepare yourself for this. Okay, first, we have the digital product formula. And this is my 4-step plan to create and scale a digital product from ground zero. And this is where all the magic happens. Because it doesn't matter if you have access to all of the best tools, if you don't know how to use them. Now, we have broken it down into a proven 4-step system that anyone can actually follow. Number 1 is how to develop your product, then how to distribute it to the right people, then how to deliver it without going crazy, and also how to scale it once you prove that it actually works. That's it. Master these 4 pillars and you are all set. So let me break down exactly what each pillar contains. Let's start with pillar number 1, which is develop. VIPs, I need you to clock this. Okay, we spoke about this. Come on now, lock in. Pillar number 1 is develop. The question is this: what if there was a way that almost like magic, or like AI, I should say, you could push a few buttons and you could follow a few simple directions and you could have an incredible, life-changing digital product created before your very eyes? Well, that is exactly what you can do thanks to AI. Inside of Pillar 1, you're going to discover our AI-powered development system that literally builds digital products for you. I'm talking about everything, the actual content, the tools and templates, even the video scripts. And the craziest part is that you don't need any previous experience to launch your very first digital product, because our system is specifically designed to help you create what we call non-expert products. And these are digital products that solve real problems. This is without requiring you to have to be some crazy guru or be some crazy social media influencer, etc. Inside of Pillar 1, we show you exactly how to, number 1, use AI to identify profitable product opportunities that aren't saturated with competition, and also get your entire product built for you, including all of the tools, templates, and content. It also allows you to structure everything in a way that actually delivers results so that your customers keep coming back for more, just like the multiple successful products that I've shown you today. The best part is that this entire process takes days and not months. You don't even have to write a single line of content for your product or have to hire expensive experts to do it all for you. The system handles all of that. So the question is, do you see why people have invested tens of thousands of dollars to develop a system like this one that works for them in their business? I have heard of companies spending numbers to not even say out loud of amounts of money on artificial intelligence. Now let's talk about pillar number 2. Pillar number 2 is distribute. As you already know, this is not about selling a product. It's about being in the right place where people are already looking for your product, and that is distribution. Now, what if you had product placement in those exact places? What if you had product placement exactly where people were already looking? How much of an advantage would that be to you? Well, that's exactly what you get. Most courses that you could buy will teach you distribution all wrong. They tell you to burn thousands of dollars on ads or do some complicated launch strategy that requires 47 different moving pieces. We're not doing any of that. Instead, Pillar 2 shows you our organic fast track system. And this is for getting your first sale without spending any money on ads. And no, I'm not talking about spamming people on DMs like some crazy internet salesperson. We show you how to tap into existing distribution channels where people are already looking to buy digital products exactly like yours. Inside of Pillar 2, you are going to discover, number 1, how to position your product so it stands out. This is even in crowded marketplaces. And our strategic approach to getting those crucial first 5 to 10 sales that prove that your product actually works. And the best part is this entire distribution system costs $0 to implement. We're basically giving you a step-by-step roadmap for getting your product in front of hungry buyers. This is without having to become some crazy social media influencer or burning through your entire savings on ads. How much easier would it be for your digital product to be successful if they were distributed at all of the best locations, exactly where people were already looking to buy exactly what you have to sell? This brings up pillar number 3, and that is deliver. What if you could sell the same product 10 times or 10,000 times with the exact same amount of work? Most people, they try to fulfill their digital products manually. They're answering customer emails at 3 a.m. They're constantly updating broken links. They're dealing with technical issues. They're managing support tickets. It is exhausting, and it kills any chance of scaling. And that's why pillar 3 is all about automation. We show you how to set up your delivery system so that your digital product basically runs itself. I'm talking about setting up your product delivery so it is completely hands-free, building out self-service portals that actually improve the customer experience. The best part is that once you set these systems, they work for you 24/7. That's whether you have 10 customers or whether you have 10,000 customers. I want you to think about it. What's the point of building a, quote, freedom business, as a lot of people call it, a lot of Christians call it too, if you're then chained to your laptop all day? most people that I see exit a 9-to-5 job because they called it a prison, enter into a business, and all they did is create a more strict prison for themselves with less money, more work, more stress. Shocker, I know. That's exactly why we have spent so much time perfecting these delivery systems. And that is so that you can focus on growth instead of getting buried in all of the day-to-day operations. Now, would it not be great to have all of the best technology working for you on your behalf without even knowing how it works? Well, congratulations. You now have access to exactly that. Finally, we have pillar 4, which is scale. Let me ask you a question. If every time you gave me $1 and I gave you $2 back, how many times would you give me a $1 bill? As many times as you can, right? Well, that's exactly what you can do here when you find a successful digital product that's ready to scale. And this is where things get really, really exciting. Because once you have a proven product, which is a solid distribution channel and automated delivery, it's time to pour gasoline on the fire. Inside of Pillar 4, we show you how our advanced distribution strategy works. And it works for taking your digital product from a few sales to dozens of sales every single day. Here's what makes our scaling system different. We don't tell you to just spend money on ads. Instead, we show you how to create what we call distribution multipliers. And these are strategic placement opportunities that exponentially increase your reach without proportionally increasing your costs. And this is so that you can put $1 in and get 2, 3, 5 out. And you can do that a lot. In fact, me and my team, after we sold the first few products, we've jumped into ads. The first ones that we launched, we did not use ads. Now we do use ads, but we have a system that works so well that our average machine, we put in $1, we take out $5. I'm lowering the numbers so that you would believe them a little bit more here, but we've seen it all, but right now it's at 5. And you can do this a lot of times. So inside of Pillar 4, you're going to discover how to identify and secure premium placement opportunities that drive consistent daily sales. You're also going to learn advanced optimization strategies that turn more strangers into buyers. Most importantly, in this phase, we also give you a complete contingency plan and step-by-step instructions on what to do if your digital product is still not getting sales. Because let's face it, not everyone is going to get this right the first time around. And that is the beauty of this system, is you can try as many times as you want until you succeed without any additional cost. Now, here in this phase, I show you exactly when to create a new product, how to reposition your existing one in case it's not selling, and then how to identify what the actual bottleneck is. So let me ask you, wouldn't it be incredible to have a systematic approach where each dollar you invest brings back multiple dollars in return? The truth is, these 4 pillars work together as a complete system. You get access to all of them inside of the digital product formula. And you also get access to weekly coaching calls where we're going to help you implement everything. Now, here's the thing. The blueprint alone would be worth the investment. Now, I know that if you're still with me here at this point, it means that you can clearly see that this works. You can clearly see that it is proven and it's a replicable, repeatable process. There we go. That's a better word. Repeatable process to success. Now, I also know that although you believe that it works, you might not actually trust the process, or maybe you don't actually fully trust yourself. And I completely understand that, because this can be a very overwhelming process. And this is especially if you're not big into technology, especially if this is your first time in an online business. And that is why we have created a situation where you don't need to trust all of your skills and all of your ability. All you have to actually do is trust the software. Now, I've made AI sound like a terrifying tool in this whole event, so bear with me, okay? The software does the majority of the process for you. So I want to show you the absolutely insane bonuses that we're including, starting with the software that will do the work for you. And this is so that you don't have to even trust yourself in the entire process. You have to trust what the AI gives you. Bonus number 1 is going to be AROS. At this point, you're already very, very familiar with what AROS can actually do. It develops the entire product for you. The core content, all the necessary tools, and even the scripts for your product videos. you're going to get unlimited access to this tool. And that's at no extra cost to you as part of the Digital Launch membership. By the way, every single digital product that you generate there costs me money. And as you know, using AI is not free by any means, and it can get pretty expensive, especially with the complexity of the task that we're actually doing here. But I don't want anybody here to have to worry about the costs at this stage of their business. I know a lot of you are stepping into this for the first time. So what we're doing is we're basically paying for your first AI employee. Now, you're going to get unlimited access at no extra cost for usage limits. Now, as I said, I'm not asking you to commit to this for 1 or 2 years. Not at all. 90 days. This is all that you need to completely change your life situation. So the question that I have is, can you commit to this for 90 days? Great. Yes, 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 yes. I want you to understand this. This is a very hands-on program. I can only coach so many people at the same time, and I cannot do this with everybody. And this is not for everybody. Some people, they want to be half in. Sometimes they just want to dabble. They want to maybe I'll try this a little bit. Maybe I won't try this. Maybe this, I might kind of pursue this for half a day and then just tap back out. And I want to be clear, this is completely irrelevant for you then, with all due respect. Now, I know outside of those people, there are at least 150 people on the line here today that would love an opportunity like this. I unfortunately do not feel comfortable taking on more than 150 people into this program. I'm not built for it, definitely not in the coaching. So there's only 150 people, but I do know that there are people here that would want this. Now, considering everything else that you're getting, I expect these spots to fill up very, very fast, especially when you actually see the guarantee here in a moment. Now, I have an apology to make all of you from yesterday. I was about to say we made a mistake. We didn't really make a mistake, but I have an apology to make all of you. The apology is this. Speaking of spaces available in programs or things, the 250 free strategy calls that we gave all of you, they filled out yesterday completely. Literally, when I looked at the chat, some of you were saying that the link stopped working. Like, you came back after 2 minutes and people were like, oh, the link's not working anymore. The link's not working anymore. And I thought we had a tech issue. Turns out, right about that time, we actually maxed out all of those 250 spaces. So that's my apology. That's our apology. We didn't really plan on hitting them that fast. I thought we would have a lot less on day 1, and then we'd probably get a few more people hop in on day 2. But you guys are absolutely crazy. So I do understand how there's a lot of interest. Tonya says a great problem. Maybe, but I've got a team here that has limited time and capacity. But yes, a lot of people are very much interested in starting digital products. I do agree with you. So that's when the space is filled out. But I have a solution. I came prepared. Nathaniel says you need a bigger team. Absolutely, Nathaniel. You're more than welcome to go through the hiring process and come help me with these calls. I have a solution for all of you. My team has let me unlock 150 more spaces. So they've opened up more of their calendars. One of them is I won't go into detail about that, but whatever. They've allowed me to unlock 150 more spaces on their calendars. However, I am also going to do this. Some of you have sent messages in, and I know that some of you are worried that the spaces for digital launch are also going to run out, because I'm aware that there was a lot of interest from that yesterday because I got the booking forms and a lot of you said you would be interested in talking about it. Because of that, I know, let me go back a step here. Some of you have booked your call, your one-on-one strategy call, and you put on your form that you wanted to talk more about digital launch. But your call is scheduled for next week, and some of you even the week after that. And so the concern that I understand is that you're worried that all the digital launch spaces will fill up before you've even had your call to talk about it. And I understand that. I just didn't expect to have that many on day 1. So for that reason, we are allowing $250 deposits, which some of you may have seen yesterday. We're accepting $250 deposits for digital launch. What does this mean? This means that you can put down a $250 deposit to secure your spot in digital launch. And this stops us from hitting that limit and a ton of people missing out. So number 1, a deposit will lock in your spot. That means that even if we hit capacity, you're in. Your spot is guaranteed. It is saved. And then it also unlocks 2 massive bonuses. And by the way, your deposit is 100% refundable. So bonus number 1 is Tomi Araimi's Artificial Intelligence course. This is generally sold at about $1,000. So with your deposit, it's included in with Digital Launch. The whole topic is on artificial intelligence versus divine intelligence, produced last year. Let's skip past. There we go. Bonus number 2 is our Building Goshen course, and this is valued at about $2,000. So this just so happens to be our Goshen members' favorite course. Now, the deposit is 100% refundable. So if you change your mind later, just email my team and we will refund you $250. There's no questions asked. It's just a deposit. The deposit holds your spot while you decide and then while you speak with the team as well. Now, we might reach the limit, the 150 limit, by the end of the call. We also may hit the one-on-one free strategy sessions limit by the end of the call as well. No promises. I can't tell the future by any means. Now, one very, very important note that I really need all of you to understand. If you have your one-on-one with my team, if you already got one of those 250 spaces, if you already have one, please do not book a second call. If you book a second call, you will be taking a spot from somebody else that could get one of those extra 150. So please don't double book. If you would like to leave a deposit and make sure that you save your spot, you can still go through the process, leave a deposit, but don't actually book a call. A little bit of a weird system, I know, but like I said, we weren't fully prepared for this. So that's what I'm suggesting a lot of you do. Now, if you do double book, you may risk actually losing your call because our team will get confused on which booking is the correct one and they will end up canceling one. And so you may lose it. Also, it takes away a space from somebody else. So don't book it a second call. Now, in just a moment, my team will drop the link to the one-on-one strategy calls that are free. There are 150 more spaces. If you have one, do not double book one. You still have it locked in. My team will be there. There are 150 more spaces. If you didn't get one yesterday, today is the time to get one. Once they run out, again, they run out. There's not much I can do about it, unfortunately. If you are somebody who would like to claim one of the spots with Digital Launch, I want you to put in the form that you are interested. And then it will ask you, hey, are you interested in deposit or no deposit? And you can answer there as well. You'll have the bonuses in there too. Okay. I'm going to drop a link for all of you to jump in there. Again, first come, first serve. Once they fill out, they fill out. Okay, go ahead and do a countdown with me. We're going to count from 3, 2, 1. And team, if you could please kindly drop the link in the chat. Everybody, a reminder, once they fill out, they fill out. Unfortunately, I can't pick favorites here. I can't move a few people through. If you cannot click the link in the chat, you can go to joingoshen.com to actually fill that out. That will take you straight there as well in case anybody has any issues. If those spaces fill out, again, not much else I can do. Okay. Let's get past this. Now, while some of you are filling that out, I want to just say this about Digital Launch. On Digital Launch, we work with you until you have everything in place. So we have a couple different guarantees. There's no crazy conditions. There's no rules. There's no fine print or anything to this guarantee. The guarantee is very simple. You have to make at least $5,000 with your digital product, or we keep working with you until you do. Full stop. Or your American period. We will keep serving you. We will keep giving you updates to new programs. We will keep supporting you. And that is all until you hit that $5,000 mark with your digital product. Now, some of you might be thinking, sure, that sounds great, but how do you actually verify those numbers? And that is a very fair question because most programs, they offer an income guarantee, but they have no real way to actually verify if you hit those numbers. Now, here's what makes our guarantee completely different. We can see everything through WAP because we're partners of WAP. Now, that means we can see every sale, we can see every customer, every dollar. It's all tracked in our backend, which means that we're not working on some crazy honor system where you have to just trust us about the results. We can literally verify every single number in real time. And that's why we can offer such a strong guarantee because we know this works and we can actually prove if it's working for you. So really, you only have two options. Either you succeed and you make at least $5,000, or we keep working with you until you do. And in addition to that, your investment is also protected by a 7-day full refund policy. Meaning if for whatever reason you do not like what you get inside of Digital Launch, you have to reach out to my team at support@GoShinites.com, and you have 7 days to get 100% of your money back. All you need to do is email support@GoShinites.com and ask for a refund. It will get processed, no questions asked, and we'll be back in your account shortly. Now, with doing this, I'm taking all of the risk of our deal here on me and my team. I could not possibly be taking on more risk on my side. We've set this up so that you don't have any risk on your end today. And this means that the only way that this investment doesn't actually pay off is if you don't take action. Now listen, some of you are thinking, hey, I'm interested, but I'm not 100% sure yet. Here's my advice. Deposit anyway. Why? Because the deposit is 100% refundable. You can get your money back, and there's literally no risk. But the bonuses are not coming back. So after today, the artificial intelligence and Building Goshen, after the event, I should say, they go away. You cannot get them later. In fact, they're not publicly available right now. So this is the only way to get them. Also, if we hit capacity, which seeing how crazy all of you are, I wouldn't be too surprised if we do hit capacity quite quickly. There won't be any spots left. So even if you're like 70% sure, I would encourage you, lock in your spot. You can always get your deposit back, but unfortunately you cannot get those bonuses back. They are going to be gone. All right, everybody, while you are filling out some of those forms, getting your strategy calls, and then some of you also opting in to join Digital Launch, for everybody else, I have your homework, which is exactly what I promised all of you for being here at the end of the session. You showed up. You've been committing to building your digital product, so I have your homework. Every single day, as a reminder, I will send the workbook in the student portal for the challenge. By the way, yesterday took a little bit longer than I initially planned, so it took a few hours rather than an hour. That's my bad. This time around, it's actually unlocked. Paola, you can tell me if I'm wrong. They're actually unlocked right now in the student portal. So, however, you need your password to unlock them. So they're not unlocked. They're available. They're not unlocked. There we go. That's a better way to say it. So if you are not there every day for the challenge, you are not going to get your workbook you're not going to get your password to unlock your workbook. If anybody does not have access to the student portal, which I know some of you yesterday were saying you were, there you go. Lindsay says, how do I get in? We are going to add the link to join that student portal in the description. Team, if you could add that, that'd be great. You'll see that there either right now or in just a second. And you can sign up to join the General Admission student portal. It's free, obviously, with your registration. Okay, so your homework for today, as yesterday, is to come up with 20 potential topics for your first digital product. And then I want you to head over to the student portal to comment on your homework. Paola, if you could please post this message in the network. We are going this post, then everybody can comment underneath it. So I want you to comment your 20 digital product ideas under this post. Now, as a reminder, every single workbook has its own password that you need. And in order to get it, you have to actually be here live. So today's workbook password is develop. All capitals. Thank you, Tracy. All capitals, develop. Develop, develop, develop. If you can comment develop in the chat for me, that would be helpful. That way everybody gets this password. Somebody said guessed it. Yeah, if you were paying attention, you could have guessed it. Let's see if you can guess day 3 and day 4, hey? Alrighty, so today's workbook password is develop, all caps. You can get your PDF in the student portal. Now, we're going to transition over here to a brief Q&A session. By the way, this session gets cut out from the replays. So this is the special session that you don't usually get to see. I'm going to be answering some questions from people. VIPs, you can drop your messages in the Q&A. General admission people, you can leave your questions in the YouTube and I will answer them. Everybody, I know some of you are tuning in from South Africa, from Nigeria, from the UK, some in Australia. I know for you guys it's like the middle of the morning or just the morning or whatever. Anyway, you're tired. And so if you need to go to bed, you're more than welcome to go to bed now. We are done with the session, but we're going to move into our more informal Q&A session. Link is in the chat for everybody that's asking about how to book your free strategy call. That's in the chat. And then if you are interested in digital launch, you can also comment that on your booking form to get to speak with our team. By the way, if you are interested in digital launch and you don't book your strategy call, there's no way for our team to know that you're interested. So unfortunately, we can't get it to you. You have to actually book a call and then comment on or fill out in the booking form. Okay, I'm going to wait for, there already are a ton of questions. Okay, VIPs, you can use the Q&A box. It's easier for you to use the Q&A box because it's easier for me to track. The chat moves too quickly for me to actually read, unfortunately. Alrighty. Let's get some questions here. Leroy says, did not get the link to the workbook / student portal. If you if you click the link in the description of this YouTube video, you will be able to get it. For the VIPs, it should be in your email. We will send you an email tonight as well with the link. So don't worry, we'll make sure you get it tonight. This is really good. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm sorry. Oh, you gave me the pronunciation. That's so impressive. Boomy. Is that how you say your name? I hope I'm getting it right. Boomy says, what are the chances that the AI spits out the same information if 2 or more people have the same idea? That's like such a great question. So the way that the AI works is it has what we call DNA. This is not that necessarily the AI's DNA. This is your DNA that you put into the AI. And so the AI asks you a few different questions that you answer to get an understanding of you, get an understanding of your audience. Once it has that DNA, it then generates products and builds products based off of that DNA. That means that everything that it produces is based off of the DNA that you give it. And so the quality of the product is according to the quality of your DNA. So this means like I use AROS to develop digital products, and like I sell digital products. So I'm not worried that anyone's stealing my idea because I have the AI, which means I know that I can do better than most people. So simply put, the simple, very brief answer is the quality of the product is according to the quality of the DNA that you put into it, which stops multiple products being produced by the same people. Rye says, if I paid the deposit yesterday, do I get the bonuses? Can you confirm that, Jeremy? Yes. That's a yes. Okay. If you pay the deposit, we will make sure that you get the bonuses as well. Not to worry. So if you put down $250, we will make sure you get your deposits. They will be included inside of your digital launch membership if you do decide to join. Somebody said, I already signed up for digital launch. Do I need to continue with the training? Depends on what training you're talking about, whether the challenge training or inside the digital product formula training. I would do the stuff inside of digital product formula. I mean, this is good, but it's even better once you're inside. Oh, Ray, my bad. I got your name wrong. Carol says, is it possible to launch a digital product, especially on a health, self-care / wellness, for example, without building a community first on social media? It definitely is possible. I'll tell you exactly. I'll answer what I see most of the students doing inside of digital launch. They create their whole product. They make probably under about 100 sales. And then once they get just about under 100 sales, they then find a way to amplify those sales. So once the product is validated, then they go to start pushing for, essentially put gasoline on the fire. And so some of them go to, okay, I'm going to work on social media now. Some of them go to Facebook groups. Some of them do in-person stuff. Some of them, I know some of them run ads as well. Some of them, that's just what they want to do. But they all prove their product first. In fact, the majority of students don't do social media, and they make their first few sales from WAP, from their contacts, from people on just their average social media, et cetera, or by hopping into places that they already have people that would want to buy. And then they move more into the social media route. So I hope that makes sense to you. What you want to do is you want to prove your product first and then amplify that success, if that makes sense. That's what I do before I launch a product, we test it first. We make sure that it actually works first. And then we're like, okay, great. Now we know we're going to push on social media. We're going to push on ads, push on these other distribution channels, et cetera, to actually amplify those results. It's a really good question. Chrislyn, great question. How does AI make your product not very AI-ish to market easily? That is such a good question. The reason that you have that question is most likely because the AIs that you have been using are ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, Grok, etc., which are respectfully very impressive, but they're the generic AIs. They do not specialize in anything. And so that's why they sound like AI. AROS, I can promise you, for all of you registering for this challenge, AROS helped me produce multiple elements from this challenge. So that means, like, I know some of our stuff looks like AI, okay? So don't go nitpick through everything that we produce. But I have had people buy digital products, and I scripted it with AI, I wrote it with AI, I marketed it with AI, and people don't know that it's all written with AI. You don't look like you're trashy online marketer with your ChatGPT scripts, simply put. So my simple answer to that is that you probably think that because you've been using the generic AIs. Once you have something specialized like AROS, you realize how much more powerful it can be when it does one thing and one thing incredibly well. Brian, you have a question. You said I was messing around with ChatGPT and I think I came up with a strong idea, but how do I determine if I need to actually hone it in more and isolate it so it's a stronger niche? That's a good question. Brian, I know you're a VIP, so I know you heard a lot from the session today. I would go through and follow a lot of those mathematical formulas that we gave, and we can get you the replay for you to rewatch this, and that will help you hone it down more. And then the next level is test it. Start talking to people about it. And hey, like, there's thousands of people that are here and registered for this challenge. So you have thousands of people that you can get feedback from. So I would head over to the network, comment under that post, the homework post, and then ask everybody, be like, hey, give me critique. And then, Brian, if you're down for this, I'm going to say your full name here, Brian Jackson. Everybody, if you see Brian Jackson's post, I want you to go give him feedback on it. How does it sound? Does it sound generic? And then, Brian, if you do that, you have to be okay with everybody being really, really direct with you and just very honest about it. It'll help you get better, I can promise you that. But if you're going to do it, just brace yourself. You're going to get some feedback. I'm sure it's great, though, of course. Debran, I think I'm saying it right. I'm probably saying it wrong. I'm sorry. Said, I just want to make sure I did the thing right. Yesterday, I paid a deposit, and then I also booked my strategy call. Today, I made another deposit, which is for digital launch only. This is correct. Not quite. I love the action there. You're committing. I love it. Not quite. You only need one deposit. Like, we don't need a $500 deposit by any means. So if you can actually, you know what I'll do is I will screenshot your name and send that over to the team here. And then we're going to go ahead and refund one of those deposits for you. So you did most things right. We'll make sure you get the one of those back. Don't worry about it. Ray has another really good question, and you said, can we target different languages and countries? For example, Portuguese and Spanish for Latin American customers, etc. That is such a good question. AROS is built with, I believe, 7 languages. I know it has Spanish and I know it has Portuguese. It actually was built by a development team in Brazil, and so it has a lot of languages. So yes, you can actually go inside of your AROS tool and change the language to a whole stack of different languages, and the whole AI will then output content for you in a different language. So you could even write all your stuff and then translate it. Like, you write all of it in English and then translate it over to whatever language you want, unless you speak those languages as well, in which case just translate the whole tool, and it has the functionality for that. Oh, I see. That's helpful. The team's just telling me that you have to, if you want access to the student portal and the workbooks, you have to actually create an account. So you have to put an email in and a password in. It's free. There's no like, you don't have to pay for it, but you have to create an account. So if it's asking you like, hey, create your account, whatever, then you got to go and do that. That's part of the process. It's not just like a click it and download it situation. So when you go there, click create account, and then once you create account, type in your email, create a password, and then you'll have access. Felix says, I did not get a receipt to ensure I'm logged in. Felix, the receipt will send automatically to whatever email you entered. But if there are any problems, send a message to support@gotionites.com. We can get a receipt sent to you. Lana's question is, can you create a digital book that can be personalized, and will it do that as well? Currently, we are actually working with the development team to create an AI that actually writes entire books for you. The AI right now it works more by smaller chunks, so it's not built yet to do like one whole book. Soon we will have the functionality for that, very, very soon, but you can't do it all in one go. But you definitely can use the AI to piece together a book for sure. I know many people have done that, even some on our team. Roz says, I booked an appointment yesterday, but never, I'm assuming you mean a strategy call, the free ones, but you never paid a deposit. How can I pay a deposit without duplicating the call? That's a really good question. So go click the link again, go through the same process. And then when it asks, hey, do you want to leave a deposit? And are you interested in digital launch? Click yes. You can complete that whole process, and then it'll take you to the booking page, but don't book on that page. You can just leave that page. That way you don't double book, but you still have a deposit. Your spot is secured. Now that is assuming that the spaces are not gone, which I can't promise they are not gone. I actually can't see right now, so I'll have to check. But assuming they're still available, you'll see it. You'll still see it on there. Let's see. Ray says, how can we replay the sessions? So we are uploading every single recording for you. Here's the problem. There's so many people here, and we have so many slides and so much going on that the videos take a really long time to process, like generally about 24 hours, quite literally. So I can't get them to you immediately, but I promise you we're checking constantly to make sure that they process, and then as soon as they process, we're going to get them uploaded for you. Do we know if we have the day one uploaded yet or no? Actually, Jeremy. Okay, VIPs, you should have your session uploaded. General admission, oh no, general admission's on YouTube. Oh, and that's also uploaded. So great, day one's been uploaded. Day two will get up for you ASAP. Yeah, there's the workbook. Gavi says, is a PDF a product format option? It absolutely is, and I've created many of them myself and sold many of them myself. Chrysalin says, can we print these workbooks? It's asking for a password. It is asking for a password because you need the password every single day of the challenge. There's a new workbook every day, and there's a new password every day as well, so you have to be on the event in order to get the password. That's how we don't just like release them out to the wild and into the public. Like, you have to actually be here. You got to be invested. So as long as you're here each day to get the passwords, then you can unlock the PDF. And then once you unlock the PDF, yeah, you can print it. You can do whatever you want. It's probably better to print it and then write on it. I think it would probably learn more from it doing it that way. So it's a smart idea. Anonymous participant says, do you recommend adding coaching calls with your digital product? If so, is there a way to scale without getting overwhelmed with managing the calls? That's a great question, and you bring up a point that a lot of people struggle with. They overpromise too much of their time, and then they regret it later on. And we talk about that a lot, actually, with our students inside of Digital Launch. We're like, hey, don't create like a prison for yourself. Don't create a product that you hate 6 months down the road. And I have done this many, many times. I think I still do this a little too much, is we overpromise in some things. So we speak from experience. Chrislyn says it's not accepting the password. I won't say it, but you guys can say it in the chat. What was yesterday's password? Who remembers? Anybody remember yesterday's password? There you go. Thank you, Tanya. Tanya's on it. Tanya needs to run this event for me. I don't know how you remember all this stuff better than I do. Yesterday's password was discover, all caps. And then somebody give me today's password. Today's password is develop, all caps. Chrislyn, if you're having any problems, just make sure you're doing all caps. That might be the problem. Thank you, everybody. You guys are awesome. Very impressive, especially the VIPs. Elijah says, what do you think of a vision improvement PDF worth $288? You said that on YouTube. I like it. I think it's too broad, though. Like, who is it for? And because I can't identify who it's for, we said this with the VIPs, you try to sell to everybody, you sell to nobody. You have to be very specific about who you're selling to. And so vision improvement, if you remember those 3 layers, you're kind of going with a niche / industry, and you're not going into the 3rd layer. You have to find that unique value zone, something that not many people are talking about. So a lot of people like talking about vision. Not a lot of people are talking about vision improvement for dads, vision improvement for young entrepreneurs, like how to get 100% clarity for your vision in 2026 as a teenager. Like, bam, there's a unique value zone that you could sell right there. People will send you money for that. When you sell a digital product, you have to make the customer or the lead feel known. You have to make them feel seen by you. In order to make somebody feel seen, you have to remember details about them. You got to remember stuff about them or find out stuff about them. So I hope that's helpful. Tracy says, hi, Charles, how long will we have access to the workbooks? The workbooks are yours to keep. The student portal is not going to be available forever, but you can. We've given you the ability to download files. So you can download them on your Mac, and then they are yours to keep indefinitely. Alrighty, everybody. I know I haven't gotten to all of the questions today, many of which I'm not going to be able to answer all in one session, but I'll tell you what, we will have the exact same tomorrow. So we'll do a little bit more of an informal session. I'll answer more of the questions for you. I don't know if we'll be able to take any questions live from VIPs. Maybe. We'll see. And then we'll also have more giveaways for you. The final giveaway that I have for all of you is that we've unlocked a PDF in the student portal that is 100 digital product ideas in your portal. So you can hop in there and scroll through some of those ideas. The goal is that it would get the wheels turning for you. It would get some creativity pumping. Remember, your first idea is usually your worst idea. Once you dig deeper, that's where creativity actually kicks in. So we'll give you the first few ideas, and then your job is to come up with one based off of those. So you can get that inside of your student portal 100% free as well. Without further ado, tomorrow we will be live again, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Pacific. VIPs, I'll see you an hour early as usual. I will be prompt. I ask that you would be prompt as well because we want to jump straight into the session. And then as a reminder, I have a bonus session at the end of day 4. So that's on Thursday that I will tell you more about. A few of you have already been invited to it, but I will tell the rest of you all about it later on. I hope you found today's session valuable. hop into that student portal. And then as a reminder, if you have any problems, any questions, any issues, send my team a message at support@goshenlights.com. Please kindly be a little bit patient. They have a lot of support tickets to get to because there's so many people here. And with however many bookings we've had, there's a lot of work to do. So please be a little bit patient. I would appreciate it. God bless you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye, everybody.